About Argentina, they've been taking notes. They stayed up late, they were studying, and they know everything about Denmark at this point.
This team, this Denmark roster here, really looking for Fischer to just continue to play amazingly. He has had some great moments there, Flame. Any players on your end from Denmark that you're particularly excited for?
Craigie, I think, had a really good performance yesterday. Kellex as well. The whole squad played really well. It's overshadowed by their struggles with the Sombra, I think, for me. And I think that they're up against one of the best in Argentina right now.
One of the best in Argentina, that's right.
Next to the best, in fact.
Yeah.
I mean, DDX's performance on Sombra yesterday was really good.
I think right now DDX and Oputo are putting up a competition between themselves as to who is actually the best Sombra right now in these group stages. And I'm not sure that, like, seeing how well, I'm tongue-tied now, but I think what I'm trying to say is that the Sombra from Argentina will probably be on the level of the Sombra from Thailand. So Denmark's got it in for them right now. They have a lot to come up against, especially seeing how much they struggled yesterday.
Yeah, and let's not forget Klaus, breakout star yesterday. Everybody's talking about him online. He's got a couple great pulse bomb plays and just generally great play across the board.
Those are the players coming out right now as they set up and get ready to go. And one thing I have to say about Argentina is, even though they're down 0-4, they are as confident as ever, despite it all. It's really impressive.
Absolutely. These guys put a lot of preparation in. They feel a lot of pressure behind them to really help establish the Argentinian scene. They're passionate players. They were telling me in the room before about other teams that have gone on, and they really want to be the ones in Overwatch to make a mark here. And they think that the Overwatch World Cup is a place to do that.
And I really want to highlight how important every single match or map of this series is, because the way that the bracket's actually shaping out now is that Argentina is 0-4, but Denmark has a tie with Thailand. So if you're Argentina right now, you really want to get 3 map wins so you can kind of even out the second place seeding. And it's really, really important, I think, for both of these teams to win this particular match.
All right, folks. Well, this is going to be a good one. I can't wait personally, and there's going to be so much more to break down at halftime, but we got to get this matchup started. It's going to be Denmark facing off against Argentina, and send it over to your casters, Achilleos and Wolf.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. We are back here on the casting booth. I can't really say desk. We don't really have a desk in front of us. So the casting,
imaginary desk.
The casting corner. We'll call it the casting corner. I'm Achilleos. With me yet again is Wolf, and it's time for the final matchup of the night. Argentina versus Denmark. Both of these teams, very aggressive playstyle. Argentina especially. Yeah. But at the moment, don't have any points. Denmark coming into this one do have the 2 that they were able to take away from Thailand yesterday, but then their play started to waver as Thailand's grew greater.
And that was a lot about the Sombra there. So I feel like Fischer is the strong link on the side of Denmark. And Argentina having the 16-year-old young prodigy Klaus, as was mentioned at the desk earlier. Everyone is talking about this guy. Is he going to be sticking the pulse bombs into Fischer there in the back line? That's going to be the big question, I feel like, that may answer this series. We're going to Kings Row. Surprise, surprise, Achilleos, for our hybrid map. You and I haven't seen a single Hollywood yet.
No, we have not.
4-for-4 Kings Row.
What a surprise, and maybe we'll get that 100% Horizon coming through as well later in the series, but for now we will be going back over to Kings Row yet again. So, I mean, I know that we said that we really like this map, that it's a bit of a neutral party as far as the pool is concerned, but this is getting a little excessive, guys.
A little excessive indeed.
I'd like to see those Hollywood strats coming through, but for now we will be going back over to merry old London.
So, remember when we saw this map last time, it was...
No, I don't. I don't remember the last time I've seen this map.
When we saw Denmark on this map last time, to be more specific, as Zoe said earlier, it was really dominated by Fischer on the DPS there. Denmark had full control, and in the 1v1s against Mango on the side of Thailand, really had some struggles there. It was only until Thailand figured out their roster completely and Oputo found his stripes on the Sombra that they were able to dominate. But as was mentioned before, DDX showing quite a bit of Sombra already, and kind of a battle between him and Oputo to see who's the most successful. And even though Argentina was dominated by France in terms of map score, the matches were closer than that score told. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. It will be the attack coming in for Argentina.
Going to be starting things off. We're looking for that opening pick there with the Widowmaker, but doesn't find anything, so we will just see the swap off. And everybody's going to be wrapping around the backside of the point. DDX coming out on that Sombra, no big surprise there, battling for that top Sombra spot against Oputo.
And already a kind of a change for Denmark. Fischer's on the Diva, starting things off, not on the Soldier, so a 2-2-2 here instead of the triple DPS to try to catch Argentina's aggressive Sombra playstyle here on the attack.
They're going to be a bit of a change up. We'll see if he's going to be playing that Diva, very defensively at the moment, just sitting on top of the point alongside Nerf, keeping the Winston safe. Or if he will start going a bit more aggressive. The wrap around from the backside of the point coming through now for Argentina. So you see Klaus diving into the back line, almost gets Lin, loses out on the 1v1, but Necta is there to go ahead and follow up with the kill, getting rid of that Zenyatta. So just the 1-for-1.
And not even a tick on the board here yet for Argentina, but as they do approach DDX's EMP, this could change. Battletoad very aggressively in the back lines here, perhaps trying to look for an opening. DDX does now have that EMP. They will have the tac visor soon to pair with it.
Yeah, made it back over onto the high ground there, Battletoad, but got pounded down by Craggy. Takes him out, but Craggy will fall as Leviathan comes up with that kill, and now Argentina looking pretty good. Klaus throwing out that pulse bomb. He's helping really to pump the mech, but Krytox coming in with the Dragon Blade, takes that Leviathan, cuts down Beast, and will be maintaining this hold at the moment. Still not a single tick coming through here for Argentina.
Felt like the EMP was just timed a little bit too early. Leviathan didn't have tac visor yet. There wasn't a self-destruct to pair with it, so he has already built it up to 80% again, so it's not the end of the world by any means for DDX, who's built these so quickly. But they have another opportunity this time now with the self-destruct, the sound barrier, and Necta already picking the kill up here on the Krytox.
Yeah, going straight into that choke point underneath the archway. Comes up with that kill, but they answer back like Leviathan goes down, but Nerf has also fallen as Beast just goes ahead, picks up the 2K. They posture in onto the point, haven't quite gotten that first tick yet, but they are very close, and it seems rather inevitable now for the side of Argentina. Still pushing forward, get rid of Lin, just eliminating those massive kills with the Orbs of Harmony, and get rid of Craggy as well, so no delay tactics from that Tracer, and Klaus is just going to try to chase down onto the Soldier. Will get Krytox in the end, smacking him in the back of the head with the help of Leviathan. They will get that kill, they will get the cap. Minute 40 on that one, 4 on the clock now.
You can say what you want about Klaus, but you have to say that the one thing you can't really say is he has one string. His pulse bombs are strong, his tracking's incredible, his ability to know which targets to chase down and isolate there, his ability to identify Krytox was vulnerable, come and pick him off there. These are kind of star-sense things for a player who's so young, has so little competitive experience.
Oh, pulse bomb out there from Klaus, doesn't quite have the damage to go ahead and pop Fischer out of that mech. Does weaken it significantly, but now finds him on the far side away from his squad. That's going to be the EMP coming through here from DDX as they seek the kills. Can't quite get the one here onto Krytox as that orb just constantly picking him back up as far as his HP is concerned, and then he goes down rather low, will get picked off in the end. Craggy finds that pulse bomb in on the Leviathan, and it's going to be Denmark shoving Argentina all the way back over towards their spawn.
Now, looks like they dove a bit too deep there, but didn't really commit much of anything for that one, so they're still in a decent position to follow up for a stronger push. But the big story here is DDX actually switching over to the Zenyatta now. It's going to try to deal with Nerfed a little bit better with the Discord Orbs, the hacks, and the EMP is not proving to be enough there for Argentina, so swapping it up. Doesn't want to run the double backside harass there.
Just wants that added bit of protection here for the rest of his squad, but he goes low and will get taken down as Krytox finds that kill, just stacking up for yet another Dragon Blade. Has swapped around twice now, off the Genji initially, then to the Soldier, now back over to the Genji. Says, you know what, all right, this is what we want to work around as a squad. And DDX swapping over to the Zenyatta, very much a response to that Genji coming back out as well. Wants to have that Transcendence to help mitigate the damage from the Dragon Blade, which is going to be up very soon.
Definitely, and you also, you have to remember that he's not anywhere near a Transcendence because they stayed on the Sombra for so long. This does take away a lot of the mobility, the harass, and also the health packs far away now, so this is a smart choice to try to counter that Dragon Blade.
All right, now Leviathan has that high ground. We can hear that Dragon Blade coming out. He's going to have to drop right off of this one, but Krytox doesn't really have another target to go for, so the Dragon Blade very much is a scare tactic, getting Leviathan off that high ground, but he still has the tac visor to offer up some damage. Craggy going to be the only one that's gone down so far as Battletoad's HP bar is dropping pretty steadily. We'll see that Transcendence coming through here from DDX under pressure. Has to force that one out. It seems like Denmark will just go ahead and start kiting back as a squad, but whether or not they make it safely is going to be the next question. We'll see that self-destruct out here from Fischer. Can get into the remech. Keeps himself alive for the moment.
Really impressive defense there by Argentina. The Transcendence coming out late, but still good enough. Battletoad staying alive, providing so much extra sustained healing, and Leviathan is really showing his stuff here on the Soldier. And Fischer doing what he can. You have to say, for someone who's been playing mostly Soldier for Denmark, he's showing us a good Diva yet again. Flexed to it a few times in the last time we cast them yesterday, but definitely playing a better Diva today. Still not going to be able to contest this checkpoint, or here they come. They're going to try for it one more time.
Well, that's going to be the self-destruct thrown out, just trying to zone everybody back away from the payload so they can get the completion, but it's not yet happened. And now all Denmark going to be pushing forward, but Craggy and Nerf both go down. It's all on Fisher, really, to maintain this hold over the payload, keep it in contention, but Argentina are still picking up the kills as Krytox falls. Lind being threatened in the back line, immediately jumped on there by Klaus, will fall. Fisher has died. And that should be the completion here for Argentina.
Argentina is such an aggressive team. You know, when we spoke to them, when we had an interview with them before the group stage began, so there was a little bit of a rivalry between Klaus and Leviathan to see who could be the bigger hyper carry, who could be the player who does the most damage and who ends up carrying most. And both of them, without ultimates here, are showing up. So such aggression, such frantic attacks.
Well,
and now Beast is going to swap over, actually, to the Zarya.
A bit of a transition. Wants to be able to cut through Fisher. Can't quite do it yet. Doesn't have the power to make, really get that beam going and get rid of that D.Va mech. Now Krytox going forward, has the Dragon Blade drawn out, but immediately has to get out of dodge. Goes to the back line, looking for Klaus, finds them with one final swipe. So does at least pick up a kill for his troubles, but big investment there to not get the most profit, but this will allow Denmark to go ahead and hold that pulse bomb coming through off screen for Craggy. Takes out Beast, just delaying that Zarya.
Look at
further.
this.
We're going to see even more swaps coming through.
Yeah, they're going to start moving towards this weird, older style now. Not going to go triple tank even, just the Reinhardt and the Zarya.
I didn't realize Norway was playing right now.
Yeah. And they're just going to be trying to push this through. Now, the big point here is going to be the Graviton Surge, but it's still not even halfway ready yet. Just Vanilla, though, picking up the kills, and Beast with high energy here, doing a lot.
All right, well, so far the 2 kills coming through there. Self-destruct not really going to gain anything for the side of Fisher. Just gets back into that mech, keeping himself alive. Beast trying to build up for that Graviton Surge. Doesn't have the bigger bang to couple that one with, but it could definitely set something up here for Klaus with the Pulse Bomb. If they can build up for these. Still pushing forward, playing with fire, trying to get closer and closer to that mark. Klaus throws out that Pulse Bomb and doesn't find anything for it, so now going to be delaying that combo potentially here, as Beast is very near that Graviton Surge.
So much mobility here from Fisher, though, getting into the back line there. Nice battle grade. This forces DDX to use the Transcendence.
Throws it out, Graviton Surge coming down as well, but it's just going to be an all-out brawl here on top of the payload, but it seems like Argentina will be the ones coming in on top as Nerf and Krytox have fallen. Beast desperately trying to cut through that mech, but still just can't quite find it, for the payload is again moving here for the Argentinian squad. 20 seconds remaining now on the time bank as they approach point C.
Look at how quickly.
A little bit longer to go, and man,
he's building
massive energy coming through. Beast already back up to 82%. Pops Fisher out of the mech, the double pulse bomb off screen, and that is just going to be a massive dismantling of the Danish squad right in the last couple seconds there. A matter of 10 seconds, and suddenly everything explodes in Argentina. They get the completion.
And now when you look at Zarya, sometimes you think of, okay, they're going to have a big combo here. They switch to the Reinhardt as well, so maybe they're looking for Graviton Surge after a big Earth Shatter, kind of chain these combos together. Maybe we're going to see the Big Bang. Tracer uses Pulse Bomb early. You're starting to wonder, what's the idea with this Zarya comp? But realistically, what was successful here was not the ultimate. It was eaten by Fisher immediately there. But what actually occurred was he built up so much energy, had the extra protection there from Reinhardt. Once he had the energy there, it wasn't the Earth Shatter, it wasn't the Graviton Surge that completed that push. It was the extra DPS coming out. As you said, he almost built up a second one within seconds of using the first because he was so aggressively positioned, built up so much energy, and Zarya became this massive tanky DPS doing the AoE damage. So, well played, using an unusual strategy here, but taking a full completion here, 10 seconds in the time bank for Argentina.
Yeah, so not the biggest that you would like to have at the finish there of that map, but they still make it all the way to point C. Now just going to be looking to hold off Denmark for as long as humanly possible. Argentina at the moment, let's see, just going to be playing around with this 2-2-2 yet again with DDX starting things off on the Zenyatta. Thought perhaps we would see the Sombra on the defense to try to go for that full hold, build up those EMPs rather swiftly, but just wants to play this one a bit safer, it seems.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get to see some more Beast Zarya, though. That was that was pretty fun. I was hoping maybe we'd see it here on the defense, maybe some old Hoon style, but not going to be the case, at least for now.
Throw the Graviton Surge into the statue as they're pushing and just draw them all in. Not quite going to happen here,
well,
but
Craggy,
it could very well come out, maybe even during the Streets phase.
Craggy has shown 2 different attack bastions, but he will go back to the normal Tracer attack here. So the triple DPS, Fisher back on that comfort pick of the Soldier. Won't be running the D.Va this time. This is more of what we saw last time, from the match against Thailand.
Yeah, so going to be a very aggressive push here for Denmark. They just want to go ahead, scoop up all the Argentina players, and absolutely thrash them to get this first point. As Krytox going to go ahead, poke forward, throw out these shurikens, trying to build up for that Dragon Blade. Just now finding a couple targets, but Craggy falls, so Denmark will go ahead and peel back as a unit. Don't want to overstep their boundaries without that Tracer.
Krytox with some really nice accuracy here.
Yeah, just poking him down, but yeah, nearly dies right at the end. That's a nice deflection to keep himself alive. And just going to get healed right back up now. Klaus going in onto the low ground, straight into the face of Nerf. Helps take him down alongside Beast. And without that tank, Denmark going to be that much more vulnerable. Have to rely on Nerf entirely, and this really delays that Primal Rage coming through.
You can tell Lin just hunting down Klaus, but he's just not able to get the finishing blows there. And with no D.Va to protect Fischer, it's a lot tougher for Denmark to make this push happen. Lin's now finds himself the receiving end of the damage will be taken out.
Yeah, great communication there, Klaus. Seeing that Discord Orb was thrown down onto Lin, goes forward, takes out the enemy Zenyatta. Did lose Battletoad at the same time, but he can rejoin rather swiftly. That increased move speed, and for now, Argentina going to be holding rather nicely. Denmark have really only tiptoed their way onto the point thus far. Haven't really had a firm stance on it yet. We saw DDX running out the Transcendence. Not sure what immediate threat he was under, but felt the need to go ahead and pop that one out, but now will not have that defensive ultimate for himself. But Craggy hunting, gets the stick. Can he find the kill? Not going to happen. Nekta barely stays alive. Disco down to the end as Nerf goes forward, finds the kill. Now Leviathan with that attack visor takes out Krytox, but Craggy is there to pick up the pieces, gets rid of him, and now it's on to the point here for Denmark, seeking to get at least that first tick on this push. We'll see if Argentina can try and re-engage. The respawn's now coming up. Nekta doesn't have the Primal Rage to delay, so do they want to try to delay this one out, or do they just go ahead and back off? Seems like it's going to be the latter.
Yeah, they're just not near enough to contest this, unfortunately. The long run back here on the defense for Argentina, so the payload will be given over to Denmark. The lack of Transcendence, as you said, was definitely a big problem there for Argentina. DDX definitely panicking in that last fight, so a tool not there to chain to build up Nekta and Beast's ultimates there. The delay tactics with the self-destruct,
I mean, look how far Denmark are chasing back onto Argentina. We want to just keep them contained, beyond point B to get as much free distance on that payload as possible. Just have Kellic sitting back on and rolling it forward. At the same time, he's not going to be building up very steadily for that sound barrier, but they will be getting a lot of profit here for Lin. Self-destruct thrown out here from the side of Beast. Not going to find anybody with that. It's back into the mech, but a couple picks have come through here for Argentina. Just trying to slow things up, but they're just now getting to the payload. So all of this distance was created for free by Denmark going forward and contesting Argentina inside their spawn.
And because they did this too, they lost a lot of picks. So they got free distance, but they gave free ult charge. So that's the trade-off for Argentina. So Argentina has now the better ult setup, and that's soon going to be the Transcendence here. But yeah, the distance is overall more important.
Oh, Klaus almost making it onto that health pack. Can't quite get it. Does go down as Craggy finds that kill. Now Fischer wrapping around from behind, seeking to get some gains there with that attack visor. Not going to find anything yet. And the sound barrier comes through here from the side of Argentina. DDX trying to get this 1v1 versus Krytox, but looks like he will just be able to remain safe. In the meantime, that will be the Dragon Blade drawn out. Now he's hunting down for the Zenyatta, but he actually falls. DDX gets it in the end, but still multiple members on the side of Argentina have gone down. Nerf going in, wins the Winston battle off screen, and the payload will keep moving forward at rapid pace. 2 minutes 45 on the clock, and they're just in front of point B.
Unfortunately, it's not able to really carry with any of the heroes they have with the double support ultimates they use there. They did overlap those a little bit as well, so couldn't get the maximum value, but that was an expensive defensive attempt for Argentina. Now Denmark has the lead, and they're about to grab this checkpoint. This is an important moment for Argentina to try to hold this vanilla without the ultimates.
Well, Beast getting knocked out of the mech, and Craggy taken down, so it's going to be a bit of an exchange on both sides so far. Sound barrier thrown out here from the side of Denmark. Lind trying to go ahead and build up for that Transcendence would be very nice for them to try to get this completion, but it will be a bit longer. But getting rid of DDX is going to be quite meaningful here for Denmark, as he almost had his Transcendence available, so they go ahead and eliminate that, but it seems like they will be staved off for the moment. Have to kite back around this corner. Wait for Nerf to come back up and then regroup. Instead, Fischer, actually, he's just going to go very far forward, going full Rambo mode. Comes up with a double kill with attack visor. Can he make it out of here from that self-destruct? The answer is going to be no. Beast does find him, but so much gain by Fischer just running up into the face of his enemies.
Yeah, I mean, he got a few kills there, but unfortunately, because everyone else was all basically dead, didn't mean much because Argentina has the faster runbacks right now, right in front of this bumper, right in front of this checkpoint. And so actually kind of cost them an ultimate. Now the Transcendence going to come down in the face of the Dragon Blade.
Krytox drawing that one out was already so very low. He's just going to fall, waste that ultimate. We'll see if he wants to swap off anything or if he's going to stick with the Genji. So far, I mean, outside of that play right there, has been doing some work for him, but it actually will be the swap over onto the Soldier.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Blade just not paired with any defensive support elements because they used them earlier. And he's just continuing to swap here, but now Argentina has the ult advantage. They have the sound barrier. It was such a perfectly timed Transcendence, and time is ticking down here.
So far, it's going to be the sound barrier from the side of Denmark. Battletoad now going to answer, and there's a Primal Rage coming through here from the side of Nectar, just trying to smack them all away from this payload. Keep it out of contention, pushes back forward, very close in to this point B. Pulse Bomb comes down from Klaus, doesn't find anything, has to back off and go ahead and pick up that health pack to keep himself alive. Now going in, looking for Nerf, had that Discord on him. But he pops the Primal Rage, and that will be Denmark finding the team kill, finding point B. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Have to make it all the way here to see him. Yet again, you can see they're just pushing forward, looking to poke them as they come out of the spawn.
Now Necta switched over to the Reinhardt. Will we see that Zarya switch perhaps after the self-destruct? A strong possibility since what we saw from Argentina, but they're going to try to take a very aggressive defensive stance here, far away from the edge of this Foundry. Necta, though, not very mobile, so he needs to be careful about going this far forward.
I think given the openness of the room, the D.Va will probably gain you a bit more with that self-destruct, so I expect Beast to maybe stick with it. The Zarya ultimate could take quite some time to try to build up that Graviton Surge and try to get that Wombo combo, but for now, also going to be going down as Scraggy dashes around. That will force out that Transcendence from the side of DDX, pushing forward, trying to contest this payload. Leviathan as well with the Attack Visor, looking for a target, but Vent Matrix was there the entire time, and Lin just snipes him out from the back lines.
Okay, Fisher does have this self-destruct. Knocking Necta out would be the important move to make first, so they can get the better angle. Actually, is going to try to contain them here in the spawns. Hold on to this one. They've got 70 seconds left, so this is an insanely comfortable position right now for the Danes.
And Argentina are just really struggling to hold on to this one. Klaus dashing around, just trying to keep it out of motion, but he's going to fall. Does trade out nerfed at the same time, so a nice little takeaway as he goes down.
We might finally get to see an Earth Shatter here. He's getting very close.
Yeah, he nearly does have it. A couple more swings of that hammer and it'll be ready to go, but can he line it up? Can he get the pick? It's gonna be the question. Pulse Bomb comes through, gets a stick onto the D.Va, gets the mech down and takes out Battletoad simultaneously, so Craggy having so much profit off of that one. Necta will throw down the Earth Shatter, but it seems like there's no way to really pick up the pieces from that one. Everybody on the side of Argentina just falling. DDX on the backside, just getting hit by Craggy from behind. The payload is going to keep moving forward. 25 seconds left here on the clock. Argentina with the respawns. Can they get this contest? Can they run it into overtime? It's not looking very likely for them. Transcendent sound barrier now out here for the side of Argentina. Another pulse bomb coming through. His Beast will fall, knocked into the mech, and then the explosion kills him. Craggy just wreaking havoc, takes out Leviathan. As soon as we hear that ultimate start to come through, Transcendence here for DDX trying to buy time. We will be running into overtime here for the side of Denmark. Will not be finishing with the time bank if they finish at all. Folks coming through, the boops back here from Battletoad, just trying to gatekeep them. Overtime ticking down. Can they get the tag in? Looks like the answer is going to be no. And Argentina, with a very, very tough defense, will go ahead and stop Denmark from pushing to the end.
And that was basically just really careful play out of the side of Argentina there. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But they were able to basically take that, stagger the defense there with their ultimates, the more mobile composition they ran with there. And it's important to note that when you are... Oh, let's watch this for a second.
We'll take a look at Klaus just popping up here with the Tracer.
Look at this pulse bomb.
Just throws it straight in there. Nice double kill coming through for him.
So definitely going to help them there. But going back to my point, when you have the attacking team, when you commit everything in all at once, you have to make sure that you continue to get the kills afterwards, because if you're unable to do that, then the respawns come in faster, you eventually get worn out. You blow all 6 ultimates into one push, and you just can't consistently get the kills after as the respawns come in. You have a defense there, but very, very close. I'd have to say, even though we've seen really good Tracer play out of Klaus, Craggy makes a really good defense for his Tracer as well.
Oh,
the plays we saw there, where he nearly actually captured the point, were really well played. He himself was carrying that entire fight as we saw his first-person view. So 2 excellent Tracer players in this match, and our first game on Kings Row, insanely close to start things off.
Yeah, it definitely was. So nicely done there. Argentina putting a point on the board for themselves after that 0-4 loss to Rogue just yesterday, or to France, I should say, as this is the World Cup.
That's
but
right.
They finally get something on the board for themselves, so nicely done. But can they continue it is going to be the question, because that was a bit of a neck-and-neck battle between them. Argentina, we know that they like that aggressive style play, and it seems like Denmark is very keen to try and match that.
So I think with DDX playing the Sombra, which is what he's really been flashiest with going into control, I think that they might have the edge there, because unfortunately for the Danes, they're not as comfortable with the Sombra style and against it, as you saw with Oputo dominating there against them yesterday. So I think Control does kind of favor Argentina a little bit, with DDX having the insanely good Sombra play. Looks like we have our map ready, though, so we're going to find out where we're headed for this Control map. Oh, we're going to Nepal!
All
Helios.
right, so
a change of pace.
All right, we'll move away from Horizon for you and I. Very nicely done. So Nepal going to be selected. See how this one is going to play out.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of Sombra out of DDX.
Oh, yeah.
And the question is, what's Fischer going to be playing? Because he's been playing both the Diva and Soldier, but a lot more Diva today than what we saw in the previous match. And he has a lot of experience on the Diva, but when they played against Thailand, he didn't bring it out as much. It was much more Soldier dependent. So we're already showing flexibility and improvement in hero pools in day 2 of this group stage. And remember, as was said on the desk earlier, this is so important for both of these teams. This match will potentially allow them to grab second place if they can take it in dominant fashion, as every point does count.
Getting something like a 4-0 here for either squad. Well, at this point, for Argentina would be huge and make up for that loss versus France yesterday.
Yeah. Big deficit there, but what are you going to do against such a dominant team?
I mean, given a decent run for their money there by Thailand in the last match. So it was a very strong performance from those guys, able to take the one map off of them.
And also, you know, the match against Argentina, even though it ended up being a 4-0, was closer, like I said, than that score really showed. So DDX is going to go ahead and grab this big health pack here to start with the Sombra. That's already step 1 for DDX, who's running with the normal plan. You're going to be harassing the Soldier in the back line.
Sprinting around and kind of looking for the target there. That is Lind. Can't quite get the spray down, so the shields will be coming back through. In the meantime, just goes ahead, gets that health pack on the other side. So going to be controlling 2 out of the 3 big ones at the moment. Now pushing in point, getting ready to unlock, has that flank position. Can he get the kill is going to be the question. Spray comes through, but yet again, can't quite find it, just weakens him, but doesn't get the kill, but he nearly does have that EMP. But in the meantime, Denmark has been able to go ahead and snag that first cap.
It's an opportunity for a flip here, though, as Klaus gets the pick on the Fischer, and he will have that EMP in 10 seconds. Just called it out. Lind doing some extra damage here. It's going to help get the pick on the Necta, but will the EMP come down in this fight? Leviathan very low.
A hell of a lot of back and forth here. Lind trying to get that kill as Leviathan just goes ahead, jukes around the backside, then pushing forward, will deny that cap. So Argentina nearly flipping it at about 15%. But with Leviathan going down, Krytox cleaning up on the backside. It's going to be some pretty rough staggers here for the Argentinians.
If Denmark can actually shut down this EMP really hard, even without Transcendence, they're going to have a massive edge because they're going to have Dragon Blade and both support ultimates. So this is going to be key. If Argentina messes this up, Denmark gets a massive advantage. So here we go.
Oh, well, that's going to be the bomb coming out. Lind will go down, not yet having that Transcendence to try to nullify it. Will just fall under the pressure, but Leviathan has been answered for, as well as GDX, as Fischer scoops up that kill. Klaus now with that sound barrier, dashing around, trying to keep himself safe, trying to pick up these kills. It's a little bit of fire down onto Krytox, but he had that health pack to help him out now. Looking for Fischer, goes low, but the sound barrier right at the last second there from the side of Denmark will keep him alive for a little bit longer. Klaus is still there to scoop it up, but while he just fires away blindly, trying to get the kill onto the Soldier, the rest of his squad dies. He goes down in the end.
And this is worrisome because they saved the Transcendence here. Well, they didn't have to use it, but it wasn't ready regardless. Only the sound barrier and the attack visor really used. So Krytox is going to have that Transcendence ready for the next EMP. If there is to be one, they're only 25% away from the cap. They have the ult advantage, and Argentina really needed to make this work, but it was really only one pick after the other they could make happen. But as you said, that bought the space for Denmark to clean everything else up very cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Argentina very far behind on those initial ultimates outside of that EMP. Krytox with a Dragon Blade, draws it out, but immediately dies yet again. Necta is going to go ahead and leap on top of him, takes him down, but we're getting ready to enter overtime. Transcendence will be used from the side of Lind, trying to keep everybody topped up, but Nerfed isn't there, so he will fall. That's going to be the only tank here on the side of Denmark, getting taken out. Now Leviathan pushing forward, has that tack visor, finds the kill onto Fischer. DDX also cleaning up house, gets rid of that enemy Zenyatta, and they're in this now for the cap. Can there be a delay from the side of Denmark? So looks like the answer is going to be no, but it's a flip at 99%, so Argentina has a hell of a lot of work to do if they want to win this round.
And this is always why the first cap is the most important, especially if you're a team that's good at delaying and contesting to maintain that percentage, because even if you use every ultimate, you fail at 99%, which is not the case for Denmark, but even if you do, you have the ability to build up with so much time, 6 ultimates to flip it just one time. So Argentina is going to have to play bar perfect here in order to take this map. They already used the sound barrier, that's one ultimate down.
Yeah. Well, while we're taking a look at Klaus, it's going to be 2 members falling. Krytox as well, getting taken out. So a nice little hold there for the side of Argentina. Did have to invest that sound barrier into it. So going to be without a support ultimate for quite some time, and Klaus is just trying to make me motion sick.
I mean, he is, when you watch this guy's tracking, it feels like he's a machine, a robot, you know, above human somehow. And just showing us some small flicks of that wrist there for a moment.
Well, that's going to be the mech coming through as Beast gets popped out. And they're finding that when the
Another
pulse
flick.
bomb goes through. Yep, finds Fisher with that. Nice little pickup here for him, and you can see Argentina fearlessly pushing forward, just trying to contain Denmark all the way back towards the spawn. There's going to be another nice stagger, just getting that kill onto Kelix, delaying the potential push here from the side of Denmark, because they have to rely on that sound barrier to really get onto the point, because Lind is still a ways away from that Transcendent.
Good understanding to back off to. They don't want to feed ultimate charge here to Denmark, who's about to pop off and fly out off the chain here with 6 ultimates.
Well, they're going to go forward. Nerf leaping in, nearly has that primal rage, but he's going rather low in the meantime. Fisher going to go ahead, firing away with that tack visor, gets stuck on the pillar, can't make it out of there, will go down as Klaus chases in, but the rest of the Denmark squad is trading back as Argentina suffers a couple losses. Klaus dashing around, trying to find the kill onto Kelix, goes dangerously low, but gets the heals in the end and will stay alive, and that's going to be the flip back over to Denmark. Klaus needs to get in here, gets the retag to keep this in contention, but now ticking down yet again. Can Argentina get here as a squad? DDX starting to sprint his way over. Battletoad continuously just poking in, but has that Discord orb, can't stay for long. And Denmark right now have a foothold on the point.
Looks like this overtime is going to tick down. DDX trying to get in here and tag it. Needs to get out last second. Very well done, actually, to just buy a little bit of extra time.
He's trying to keep them confused, but he's going to die. Overtime meter now dropping very swiftly. Klaus can't do it, runs out of charges. A last-second pulse bomb won't gain much, and that is going to be Shrine.
With the 99-0 split, unfortunately, Argentina just couldn't be ult efficient enough to actually hold on to that before the 6 ultimates came down. And what's cool about Denmark's attack is they knew they had some extra time. As you said, Nerf got very low when he was at around 90%, but they knew that throughout the duration of that fight, they would get their ultimates online so they could stagger those together. By the end of the fight, Lind had Transcendent, so really well played there. And when you hold on to the point that well, that efficiently like Denmark did, you just have so much flexibility to work with. And I feel like Argentina is struggling to deal with Nerf. Nerf is actually catching these flankers, DDX and Klaus, when they're trying to get in the backline for Fisher. They're getting picked off by Nerf, who's doing a really good job protecting. Even though he's the solo tank, there's no D.Va here for the protection. He's doing well enough.
Well, here we go, moving over to Sanctum for our second round of Nepal. Everybody's just going to be wrapping over towards that high ground away from the point at the moment. Poking out, barriers coming down from both those Winstons, just zapping each other back and forth, trying to build up for those primal rages at the moment. Trying to find those opening picks so they can spill over onto the point, and that's going to be a nice one here for the side of Argentina. Lind going down, nerfed as well, getting rid of that tanky Winston, but Beast has been knocked out of the mech, so a lot of pressure now over onto Necta. It seems like Argentina still will be able to make their way over. Denmark just looking to regroup and then take this as an assault to try to get back onto the point.
Klaus just dominating this health pack right now, building up so much for DDX. Every time he even gets shot once, he goes to grab it to make sure the ult charge is maximized right now for the Sombra. DDX is about to have that EMP, holding on to it to be paired here with Beast.
Oh, but he just gets taken out. Lind finding him seemingly with a right click you would have to expect, just gets rid of that Sombra. Going to be delaying a bit for that EMP to come through. Krytox dashing through, finds Klaus, and that's going to be a very swift retake here for the Danes. 23%, all that Argentina was able to accrue.
And because they didn't have any ults, they didn't have any to use, but because they took it without it, and they killed DDX before he could use the EMP, this is nice for Denmark, because now they walk away with this with not a whole lot of time against them, plus the fact that they have pretty much even ults, in fact, a slight lead for them. And the double support ultimate's on the way here for Krytox to use that Dragon Blade, so very well played. And DDX's EMP no longer as useful here. It's going to drop it down now.
That throws it down. Both the Tracers have fallen on either side. Leviathan comes up with a double kill as he gets rid of Nerfed as well. Here, that attack visor thrown down from the side of Fisher, but doesn't seem to find. Oh, finds the mech there from Beast. Not much more on top of that one, but with both tanks being taken out, that's going to be a nice one here for Denmark, and Argentina will not be able to get this flip on the point. 38% ticking upward for the side of Denmark and DDX. Well, pretty much in no man's land. Tosses the translocator over to the side, and well, not in time. Let's drop off the map.
Yeah, that's all right, but Denmark, again, not using very many ultimates there. The EMP, just nothing to pair with it. Oh, sound barrier is used here already for Denmark. They want to hold on to this one. Lind is about to have that Transcendence.
Yeah, but they're looking for the retake here from the side of Argentina. Sound barrier answered out by Battletoad. Leviathan pushing forward with that attack visor. Finds Duke, gets rid of Kelix and Fisher. Now looking for a little bit more, but that bubble comes down from the side of Nerf, keeping himself safe. but still leaping into his doom. Just too many members from Argentina on top of that point. Delays it for a little bit longer, 69% for them. Argentina do get that flip, 28% now.
Leviathan
a long ways to go.
Just could do so much with this because Denmark got split into 3 different groups by Necta and Beast there, so much protection for him, free damage coming out. That one ultimate, the Tac Visor, got so much done after the sound barrier was placed. They have EMP here shortly.
Well, Transcendent's going to be thrown down on top of the point there by Lin, now pushing forward, keeping Crytox alive as he has the Dragon Blade drawn out. Won't be able to get too much, gets rid of the enemy soldier and helps take down the mech here from Beast. They'll finish him off, so far just going to be the 2, but Argentina still holding on to the point at the moment. Necta looking for that health pack. Then jump back in, still does have quite a bit of HP, has the leap, will rejoin in onto the point, but the flip is there. They walk into the side room and it just goes right back over to Denmark.
DDX is really making a case for Sombra on this map, though. That health pack adding so much for Klaus and him to stay alive. Necta as well. It's still not enough, though. The EMP needs to finally be used here. It's been denied so many times by Denmark. And they can try to get the self-destruct with it this time. Beast is getting into position. Here comes the EMP.
Double pulse on there from both of those Tracers, and both the soldiers will both go down, but Craggy comes out on top, comes up trumps as he takes out Klaus at the same time, but a bit more tradebacks are coming through across the board. Keller, Snurf, and Beast all taken out. Now into overtime, Argentina seeking that retake. About halfway there on it, but the overtime ticking down. Battletoad has to leap in onto the point to try to keep this going. But Klaus now rejoining will keep things alive, will keep the hope alive at least for the moment, but with this Dragon Blade drawn out, it seems like that might just be it. Denmark will take Sanctum, the 1-1, and now it's all gonna have to be settled in Village.
With the, what we saw from DDX there was actually really impressive with the Sombra, with the extra health packs, for example, but I feel like when you look at what he was able to accomplish individually, it wasn't as powerful. He wasn't able to get as much done. He wasn't able to get the backline kills, for example. And sure, he had several EMPs, but Denmark was ready for them. They denied them. Kellex getting the play of the game there, showing his amazing Lucio, which has actually become feared in Europe. So Denmark is going to bring us to that 1-1 score, but anyway.
Oh, you're right. I completely had a brain fart on that one, my bad.
No worries, but it happens. Overwatch is a fast game, but
woo, okay.
So when you see the EMP as being your natural engagement tool, it needs to be paired with something, and unfortunately, they're on Sanctum. They just couldn't find the way to make that happen. Health packs gave a lot of extra healing to Klaus, a lot of extra healing to DDX himself, Necta, but they weren't able to ever get into the backline and get those picks, and Denmark stayed together better, and it didn't seem like we could see Argentina focus on single targets, so the picks just didn't come through.
Yeah. Well, I realized what I did. I looked at the one score line there for Argentina, but it was the win on the other map, so that's what it was. So the 1-1 does come through, so my mistake, ladies and gentlemen, but that is going to be the halftime break for us. We're going to go to a quick commercial. When we come back, we will have our desk break down those first 2 maps.
The 2017 Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, T-Mobile, Union Pay, and Blizzard Entertainment.
Welcome back, everyone, to the halftime show here for Denmark versus Argentina, as we are knotted up 1-1 in this matchup. A good performance for Argentina. Kings Row held them back, the Danes, from being able to secure themselves a point there or just tie it up. But things really took a turn for the worse for Argentina in Nepal, and Denmark looked dominant, Zoe.
They did. Thankfully, once again, I really felt like on Nepal, they knew how to deal with the Sombra. They did shut DDX's EMP down, like literally every time. Shortly before he had it up, they killed him, or right when he had it up, they killed him. So they just didn't allow him to actually ever get to use it. And when he got to use it, it just didn't have the same effect anymore because the moment was gone, kind of thing. And also, I just want to give a massive shout out to Krytox and the Genji. I loved watching him play. He really was one of the playmakers in the first as well as in the second game for Team Denmark.
I think a lot of Kings Row in particular was down to this Tracer battle between Craigie and Kraus. The two of them were kind of getting kills all across the scoreboard. And I think one of the biggest takeaways for me from that match was that DDX isn't actually just a one-trick Sombra. His Zenyatta was actually really, really good. And he won a lot of 1v1s. He took down some Tracers, and they had like plans. Like they knew what they were doing on Kings Row. They made good swaps at the last point. They went to the Zarya. I think they went to Reinhardt, but it was just a lot of really clutch play from that Zen that really sealed the deal, I think, for them.
Yeah, there's a depth to Argentina that really like belies their experience competing in professional Overwatch. A lot of these players are on pro teams, and so they do have kind of this this extra strategy to reach into here. Especially we saw on Kings Row, Beast Zukin swapped out for the Zarya. Actually had his ultimate eaten, but that did not slow him down just for a second. He got his charge fully up, took out the Diva, and had his ult right back up again.
Yeah, and I thought that was actually a really pleasant surprise. As someone who really, really enjoys playing Zarya, I was happy to see that.
Right?
You know, because that's just like some old school, like charge up and just burn down the Diva. That was awesome. But Nepal, though, of course, just did not go in their favor by any means whatsoever. The plan seemed to have been thrown out the window there, and it really just came down to, honestly, just Denmark.
I mean, Denmark just plays really, really well as a team. I mean, we know that nerfed Krytox and Craggy, they've been playing really well together as a unit with two flankers and the one tank. I mean, Winston is so big, he counts as two, right? And I think it's something Nerfed also told me, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember anymore. It doesn't matter.
The days have passed.
The days of the past.
How
Nerf
long have we been in Shanghai?
I don't know anymore.
What year
It's
is it?
been great. Like, where are we? No, but he did tell me that he thinks the reason they're winning so much is because if the main tank and the flankers play well together and the communication is there, then that's just a recipe for win. They do show that it's working out for them.
It's interesting too because teams keep picking Nepal when they're running the Sombra, but it's also really hard to run Sombra on Nepal, it seems. You go to Sanctum and it's indoors, there's a lot of walls, a lot of stuff to block your EMP. Same with Shrine, there's pillars, there's the stairs, there's all these like little nooks and crannies for you to hide and just dodge the EMP all out. So I think it's putting a lot of pressure on these Sombras in particular to make things happen. But the maps are also so large and so split in terms of which route you can take. You can go left, you can go right on either map. And it puts you in a weird position where there's no way you're going to EMP everyone at once, which I think is something that both of these teams really rely on.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see how all this unfolds as we get ready for our third and fourth matchup of our final game of the day. Who will come out on top here? Will we end 2-2 or will we have 3-1? Very similar situation to what we saw in our third matchup there between France and Thailand. So there's just a lot on the line in this group. Group B, very, very competitive. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, though, we're going to break down our upcoming games, see what we could expect. So don't go anywhere, and we'll catch you in just a few.
I think Denmark has a weak spot. They play so much triple DPS, and we know how to counter it. We think Greggy, it's a little bit squishy maybe, but we will focus him. So I think we will win.
Coming into this, we don't really know much about Argentina. We know they have Klaus, which is a really good tracer, but we didn't really know any other players, and we've seen them scrim a bit, and we watched the game yesterday. They like to play Sombra, but I think we have to take care of Klaus, and then we're good to go.
Well, you heard it from the Denmark team there. Take care of Klaus. It seems to be, you know, easier said than done. That young man is phenomenal there, Seltzer.
Well, yeah, you saw that at play on Nepal, the match we just watched, where they did take care of Klaus, and they did that by kind of closing their back line off and really protecting their supports a little bit more. So that was enough to kind of slow down Argentina, but I don't know if they're going to rally here.
Well, interesting note here is that we're going into, you know, game 3, and
what could it be?
What could it be? Well, you know.
What a surprise.
Doa's been taking jabs at me in the group chat about whether or not why I've been picking Volskaya. Like, I think this is my 3rd time. I'll just say a broken clock is right twice a day, you know? So I'm going to say I'll go Volskaya. Why would either of these teams pick Horizon?
At one point it will be true.
It's a new map.
Eventually they're going to pick Volskaya.
I'll tell you why they're going to pick it, because I talked to Argentina. They said they're going to go right back again to Lunar Colony because it's the uncertain map. It's exactly the same reason all these other teams have, right? They feel like every other team that's come to play here today has so much more experience than them, and they want to even the playing field however they can.
Yeah.
And I mean, we did see Denmark losing their first match yesterday on Horizon. It's made it place in. And the one thing which broke their backs right there was the Sombra. And yeah, it just so happened that Argentina does have a good Sombra player.
Just a little bit.
You know,
a little bit.
DDX doing pretty well. So yeah, I think Horizon.
Yeah, we're going
to the moon. We'll get over it. Volskaya will live another tournament.
Yeah, he'll be there for another day. So the teams are on stage, getting ready to go. Denmark. It's going to be the team to look out for here. I'm really interested to see how they handle this one, because this is going to be very challenging for them. Argentina, they know how to approach this map, but everyone's also getting a lot of time and experience on Horizon, though, for sure, Zoe.
Yeah, I mean, now we've seen it so often, now we've played it so often. By now they should be fine on it, right? But I also I want to point out again how well Denmark did in the map we just saw, like how they got together, using their ults, like how they planned it all out, like taking those team fights shortly before they had their ults ready. Like, it was very, very calculated by them when they engaged in actual team fights and when they just like actually held back. So I just want to see that again on Horizon from them.
Do you think they're going to bring the Bastion again?
No.
No sneaky Bastion?
I don't think so. No.
Bastion's actually one of the worst heroes against Sombra, and I think that they learned that yesterday if they weren't really fully aware.
They haven't been punished enough.
Payload, that didn't work out too well for them.
No, not at all. And there's Argentina right there. Klaus, a young man, DDX, Leviathan, who, again, they mentioned it before. We talked about it here, the little competition between Leviathan and Klaus, right?
Yeah.
Trying to top each other.
Yeah, they're in the room back there getting ready before their matches, you know, teasing each other, getting each other a little riled up. But I love how much they sit together. They spend all their free time together. This is really a unit, and they really worked on it.
All right, guys. Well, it is time to see how this one ends. This is the match that will close out our day, and it has certainly been an exciting one. We're tied up 1-1. Who's going to come out on top? Will it be Denmark or Argentina? Achilleos and Wolf, over to you.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. And yes, it is time to go ahead and round out the day. The final 2 maps getting ready to come in at the moment, tied up 1-1. A lot of pressure on both of these teams. I mean, it's just kind of building up more and more as this series goes on. And yeah, you know, just go ahead and say it. Horizon is going to be the next map.
Horizon is going to be the next map. Spoiler alert, Achilleos dropping it here. You and Monte Cristo just don't want the cool graphic that comes up and tells what map it is. You guys are the biggest spoilers.
I'm mostly doing this for Flame's sake. I know he wants the Volskaya, but I'm sorry, buddy. It's going to be
Shattered Dreams here. Indeed. So Horizon Lunar Colony will be the map. Again, you and I have been casting it as Monty and Doa.
Everybody's been casting it.
100%
unavoidable.
So Horizon is a map where we saw the Sombra work out really well for multiple teams, notably Thailand, actually, with Oputo bringing the Sombra here. But Horizon, a map that's much better for Sombra, as Flame was mentioning, than what we just saw on Nepal. So I think DDX should not be discouraged from playing the Sombra, even though he struggled, especially there on Sanctum. The health packs were good, but as mentioned, there were walls in the way for the EMPs, not a whole lot of mobility for your translocator. But on this map, you have a lot more mobility, you have a lot more space to work with. Quite literally if you go out onto the moon, but you got space to work with on point B, high-low ground there. And I feel like it's almost a must-pick right now for Argentina if they want to regain this lead in the series to take the 2-1.
I mean, hearing from the desk, you know, they say every team wants to pick this for the surprise factor. I think that actually it'd be a lot more surprising if somebody would just pick Volskaya Industries. If you want to throw somebody for a loop, you just do that because no one's going to expect it at this point.
Yeah, I almost forgot what the map looks like at this point.
I don't even remember what country is it in, what happens, how many points are there?
I mean, we saw it so much in Apex, and it's a map that you and I are really familiar with, but it just feels like an old memory now with so many games on Horizon.
Horizon is the future, evidently. So it's a future that I'm quite all right with. It is an interesting map. We've seen some very fast caps and also some fantastic delays coming through. We'll see what we're going to get here today.
A lot of double caps on this map as well. If you can grab point A, get the ultimate advantage, and just use those ults to take point B. We've seen that actually successful many times. We've seen 5+ picks there.
That's going to be really swift. DDX setting up with a right click, just takes out Kelix right off the bat. Nicely done there. As Denmark is on the attack to start things off. Again, going to be running with that triple DPS.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, DDX not going to be running the Sombra. Will be on the Zenyatta to start the defense.
I could see that change up if that first cap does come through.
Sure.
For Denmark, maybe move over to the Sombra there for point B, but for now, like you said, will be without it. DDX trying to build up for that sentence rather quickly. Already at 42%, so he's doing a pretty darn good job, you'd have to say.
Yeah, with the solo tank on the side of Denmark, Nerf actually does have to retreat away. Picking him up early would ruin the push. There's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Tracers just so good here. Klaus and Kragi killing it.
I mean, 1 for 1. Two, just back and forth continuously throughout this series so far. But then going to get jumped on. He's able to kite back, keep himself alive, but Fisher doing some work here as he takes out Beast, getting rid of that Diva. Gonna be quite a nice one here for Denmark as they try to get in onto the point. First stick already accrued for them. Fisher now firing away, nearly has attack visor. Has that Winston up in his face, but it doesn't even matter. He is quite all right. We'll finish him off, and that should just be the entire cap coming in for Denmark. Very swiftly done for them, just under 7 minutes.
Yep, and they have the massive ult advantage as well. And if Argentina could buy a little bit of time, they might be able to stave it off. But DDX does have that EMP building up now. He switched over to the Sombra as we expected going into point B, but maybe Denmark just makes this happen with the first push. Craggy scouting it out here, looking for the backline attack. Actually,
saying hello at the moment.
Meeting Klaus first, not going to find the supports he was looking for.
Yeah, yet again, these guys just duking it out. Klaus is going to go down. Actually drops the pulse bomb onto Krytok, so just going to have that 1-for-1 sound barrier down here for Denmark as they try to get the entry in onto the point. DDX delaying things at the moment, just sitting in that stealth, just trying to buy time, build up for that EMP as swiftly as he can. Several kills coming through here on the side of Denmark, but they lose more than they gain, so they will go ahead and peel back for the moment, it would seem. Still have plenty of time, can just go for those eco pitches, build up for those 6 ultimates, and then try to take it all in one fell swoop.
So that's going to be the plan here, but DDX is looking to shut that down with EMPs. We'll have his first of the map here in just a moment. Beast Dukan, of course, going to have the self-destruct. The pairing of EMP usage with other ultimates was pretty poor for Argentina on Nepal, so looking to improve that here. Might just get the pick on the Lin, though. That's a start.
Okay, yeah, doesn't even have to use the EMP to get rid of the shielding there on the Zenyatta. Just fires away and finds him, takes him out. So very nicely done there by DDX. That's just going to be yet another delay, buying them, you know, about 10-15 seconds off that clock yet again. But still a long ways to go if they want to hold out on point B. It's still 5 minutes on that clock there from Denmark.
Taking out the Zenyatta early makes the EMP more valuable too, because it means no transcend's even possible. And you know, another thing too is that when you lose one of the supports is more impactful than losing a DPS for Denmark because they're triple here. They have a lot of mobility. Losing Nerf though is the most important of all. If they kill him, Denmark basically has to get out no matter what. We're gonna see Krytox looks one to drop down the Dragon Blade, but the EMP comes up before he can.
Yeah, EMP comes down, Krytox will die, can't get that blade out, and now the hack comes through on the Nerf, so can't get away, so he's just gonna go down, and just like that, it's a bit of a bigger investment there from Argentina to use the sound barrier on top of all of it, but the EMP, the pulse bomb that were used, they will be coming back rather swiftly. So really just that one big investment from Battletoad. But they do hold on for a bit longer. They buy another minute for themselves off that clock.
Yeah, I think Denmark's going to be very happy with this, though. Look at Fischer's positioning. Once Beast runs out of that defense matrix, he's going to be able to do a lot. Has that tag visor. Here it comes.
Going to be dropping it out, but I don't know how long he can stick around. The self-destruct does come through, cuts his way back around the pillar to keep himself safe. And already going to be 2 kills picked up here for the side of Denmark, but the chase comes through from Klaus, takes out Fischer, now back over onto the point, trying to build up that pulse bomb. Dashes back, picks up that health pack to keep himself alive, but can he get the kill on the Lin? Not going to happen, because Kelix is there. The bro support just coming in, just taking out that pesky Tracer to keep his friends safe, but now Leviathan answering back. Tac visor of his own, going dangerously low, will get zapped to death by Nerf, so can't quite have that major impact that he wanted, just getting the 1 kill in onto Craggy. But it did do enough work. It did cause Denmark to go ahead and kite back into the next room, but still 1 tick picked up for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nerf can't be everywhere at once, so when Fischer dropped down the tac visor, was jumped on and killed eventually there. Whereas wasn't able to get the kills he really wanted to after Beast ran out of the defense matrix. And that's one of the weaknesses, of course, of the solo tank with the triple DPS here. Just not a whole lot of protection for Fischer, and that was the crux of their last push. Dragon Blade going to be up soon, though. They still have that sound barrier.
But they've already lost Klaus, but that's going to be the EMP coming down. Leviathan finding the kill in onto Craggy, but DDX has fallen very swiftly there after a 2-for-2 trade at the moment, as Klaus does come back up, goes dangerously low, keeps himself safe, and Lind gets picked off in the back. So Denmark yet again going to be staved off for the moment, losing out on that Zenyatta. Very major one, but they're actually pushing back through. Kelix says, screw it, let's just go straight in onto the point, gets the boot back here onto the DDX as they try to start that climb over towards that second tick.
Kelix's survivability. Nice. Caster curse right there.
Yeah, way to curse him out there. Wolf goes down in the middle of that cast on the sound barrier, but is that enough for Denmark to go ahead and peel back? Looks like the answer is going to be no, because Nerf has gone forward. Popset Primal Rage has already killed Necta, and they're in for this one. They want to get that second tick as much as possible, as quickly as possible. As Fischer drops down, can't quite finish off Beast. Nerf will find it. But yet again, are saved off, and that was a pretty big investment from the side of Denmark, using multiple ultimates to try to get the second tick, and they come up short.
But they still have the Dragon Blade, they still have the sound barrier. Kelix, just to say it again though, his survivability, insane. The extra damage he's putting off in these team fights is actually why we're seeing his first-person views so often. Hitting the headshots, buying the time, having these really nice speed boosts to get his team in for the quick attacks. They are buying enough time for the double support ultimate here. Krytok should be able to, if used correctly, make a lot happen with this Dragon Blade, especially if they can bait out the EMP. Looks like that's their tactic here. It's not ready yet, but if they bait it out, that's when the Dragon Blade's going to come down.
All right, well, he does have it now available. Krytok's dropping down to the low ground, looking for Klaus, can't quite get him as he dashes to the side, being quite elusive there on the Tracer, gets the recall off as well, and now Leviathan has that tac visor firing away, but has to change targets, as he does see that deflect comes through, picks up 2, gets rid of Fischer, gets Krytox as well with the Helix Rocket flick, nicely done here by them, and they will hold yet again, and the clock has been drained down considerably at the moment for Denmark. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining, and honestly, this could just be a hold for Argentina.
So again, just the struggle of only the solo tank here for Nerf. Krytox is going to be switching over to the McCree, interestingly enough, but with only solo tank Nerf, even though the EMP didn't hit both supports there, and they had the sound barrier for the Dragon Blade, the Transcendence was ready, the Dragon Blade just didn't accomplish anything. So hence why the switch here, as we are going to see McCree on the high ground, trying to be the way to attack now. Argentina will have to react accordingly.
I mean, they're going to be looking to lock down DDX between he and Fischer. If they can get the flashbang, they will take him out. Actually just kills Klaus with the flashbang way too low as he pushes in. Just going to get taken out by that one, but now Krytox under fire. The D.Va goes forward, tries to disrupt them on this high ground, but instead Beast will just get knocked out. And it seems like Denmark are finally trading up, maybe able to get the second tick. Beast's going to go down. Krytox yet again locking down somebody with that flashbang. And it's just safe to sit in the back. The leap forward coming out from Necta, now being threatened in the backside by DDX. Just distracts him long enough for Leviathan to pick up that kill from a distance. But Denmark, they're climbing for this one. They're still looking for it. It's going to be a last-second contest from Argentina to try to delay this, but they're suffering heavy losses, and all of Denmark is piling back in. Fischer, now with the 3K, finds Battletoad as well. The pop out there from Beast. This should just be the completion, and there we go. 11 seconds remaining on the clock for Denmark. They do take point B.
But so much time burned. Only 11 seconds on Horizon for the time pool. So sure, it's very difficult to take that second capture, but you have to give credit where credit is due. DDX getting the good hacks there, the good EMPs, and unfortunately, with not a whole lot of peel with Nerf, the DPS has got scattered and shut down. I actually like the switch to McCree because when you have that stun grenade there to actually help keep yourself alive against the heavy aggression from these really slippery and slidey DPSs, the harass coming in, helped them get at least that one shutdown kill, did a massive amount of damage to Necta as well. Just in the backline there, free to find that extra damage. and eventually, with the double heals there, sustain through. But I do feel like the one weakness of how Denmark is playing is just inability to switch off of the solo tank triple DPS, and going further into this tournament, as we were saying yesterday, that's something that could be concerning. But as I say it, we are going to see, it looks like Fischer running the D.Va, so we'll be running the 2-2-2 here on the defense, and I like to see that flexibility. We saw it a few times. We saw it on King's Row, and Lind will actually be unusually here on the Sombra.
Yeah, so yet again, there's going to be a solo heal coming out now, as Kellex will be operating on that Lucio. So a bit odd. They're going to be going for this one. I mean, obviously the Soldier going to be able to sit back alongside Lucio, but Lind going forward, going to have to be very careful, snap back with the translocator, make sure it's very close to his healer, Craggy as well. Can't go as deep as he might want to, because they don't have those range heals from the likes of an Ana or a Zenyatta, so they have to be very careful in the way that they approach this one.
Kind of fighting fire with fire. This is kind of the same approach we've been seeing from Argentina, so as soon as the words come out, Denmark's not switching it up. They do immediately, so running something we haven't really seen from them just yet, so excited to see how well Lind performs here on the Sombra.
I mean, this is going to be mirrored comps coming through from Argentina. They're running the exact same thing. So the positioning of Battletoad and Kellex is going to be a major one to watch, as these guys go ahead and start pushing in, looking for that point A take. It was a very swift one by Denmark and a massive time bank. Well, they were delayed heavily on that point B assault. We'll see if Argentina can fare any better this time around. Krytox getting dropped off that high ground. Let's get a lot of damage down and on to be smacked, but can't quite pop them out. But that's going to be Craggy coming up the first blood as Klaus does go down, and Battletoad will follow very swiftly after. Some nice crucial picks coming through from Denmark.
Yeah, no one really pressuring Krytox here. It looks like they didn't even know where he was positioned, so got a lot of extra DPS done there for Nerf to actually chase down and kill them. So he's going to be going right back up there to the high ground, going to be using this position as his main post of defense, if you will.
He fell right back off it, I believe, so won't quite be able to posture up there.
Just kind of swapping between high ground and low ground, I suppose.
Yeah, but this is going to be the wrapper on the left side of the point here from Argentina, as they look to get onto it for the first time. Push forward coming through by Field, thrown down by Leviathan, trying to keep everybody topped up, and they can hide behind this pillar, try to get around and dodge a lot of that damage that Krytox is trying to offer up from the high ground. Leviathan will go quite low. Can't pick up that health back, hacked out. Just has to kite back, keep himself safe. Does have this one over here.
Gonna grab that there, build up that extra EMP charge. Klaus actually gets taken out here by Krytox.
And it's the second time that he just goes way too far forward, gets taken out. And now Denmark, you see, they're just gonna go ahead, spill off the point, go straight in, try to take the fight right to Argentina. EMP does come through from the side of DDX, but it's not a whole lot of capitalization. Just the 2 kills coming through, but they will be traded back here by Denmark. Fischer popped into the mech, but Lind will finish off DDX. So there's an EMP on each of those Sombras exchanged. And still that first tick, just now getting ready to come through for Argentina. Seems like Lind doesn't want to go in solo to try to stop this one out. We'll get the pop there onto Beast, just at least knocking him into that Baby D.Va form.
All right, gonna look to come around for this angle here again. No one noticing where he is, Lind, right now. Just continue to harass, get those health packs.
Yeah, sound barrier used there by Denmark. Kellex throwing that one out as they try to get back in and take control over the point. But the second tick getting ready to come through. They nearly have it, I believe. And that's going to be it. Going through now for the side of Argentina, but they need so much more than that. Necta and DDX, the only 2 really remaining members. And Necta will go down, so
and this
Denmark
is
will hold.
An unheard of, really, hold on Horizon's first point. So Argentina is going to have an abysmal time bank to work with when they do eventually cap it, assuming they do. Only 90 seconds left now. Not a whole lot of tools here either. Denmark has basically 4 of 6, including that EMP. So the next attack is probably going to have to be a bait one for Argentina. A little bit of a dry push to try to build those ultimates.
And even if they do get this, you have to be concerned about the time bank. Unless they can get a massive snowball cap on point B, which isn't something that really anybody's been able to do so far, then they might not have enough time really to finish this one out. Leviathan's going to fall right off the bat as Fischer finds that kill. Krytox as well, getting rid of Beast. So nicely done here by Denmark as they seek to just go ahead and hold this one out. Second tick not there either. They almost had it coming through, but it's 50 seconds remaining, and Argentina still suffering losses. Denmark chasing them all the way back towards the spawn. They go ahead, retreat, regroup, and maintain their hold over this point.
Denmark showing so much flexibility, finally running something a little bit different. The 2-2-2, if you will, with, I guess you could argue, triple DPS. Lind on the semi-support since he is on defense here. Really working out for them. They only use the EMP there. And Argentina, this is going to be the last push they ever have. They have an EMP of their own, but not much else. Gonna have to be an amazing fight for them. The EMP is gonna have to get value, and there it is.
All right, DDX has dropped this one in, but can they capitalize on top of it? It's going to be the question. Already Leviathan taken out by that pulse bomb, but it seems like this is going to be the fight here for Argentina, scooping up all of these kills from Denmark. Just going to be a few remaining members. Kelix running along the ceiling, trying to delay this one as much as humanly possible so the rest of his squad can get in to stop this cap from coming through, but it seems like they're not going to be able to do so. In overtime, just about right at the end there. The cap will happen. It's 4 minutes now on the clock for Argentina. 11 seconds, the time to beat if they can go ahead and finish off on B. We saw how much trouble Denmark had. Argentina, is it going to be the same story?
DDX tried to get an aggressive health pack steal as well there towards the B side. Denmark totally shut that down though, wasn't able to find it. And Argentina had the miracle fight they needed there. They didn't use everything that they had because they didn't have that much to use, right? So what I'm trying to say is Necta's going to have Primal Rage soon. This could be the double cap they need. Still, not a huge time bank for Denmark, so any cap is a good cap.
It certainly is. They'll take just about anything they can.
Yeah.
They try to keep themselves in this game at the moment. See Cracky coming around the side, trying to win out on these tracer battles yet again against Klaus. High ground advantage here for Leviathan. Has that attack visor ready to go, but Lynn does throw out the EMP, but that's going to be a double kill off that self-destruct from Beast. Just finds Lind and Fisher. Leviathan will go down before he can use the ultimate. But still some nice picks here for the side of Argentina as they try to get in onto the point. Primal Rage is used out here by Nectar, just trying to smack them off, trying to get something. Need to get at least that first stick on this push for the amount of ultimates that Argentina are trying to invest, but it's still just being so well delayed by Denmark. They try to retreat. They will go ahead, cut Nectar down, and they pour quite a bit into that one. The double kill, while nice from Beast, is not enough to open up for that first stick.
It's not enough, and this is without Nerf using the Primal Rage, without the Dragon Blade that's likely to come down here. Beast is going to make that Zarya swap here yet again. It was something that allowed them to take the last point on King's Row. Feels like desperation, though, here for Argentina. They don't have a massive time bank. It's going to take a long time to get that Graviton Surge, and this is an insanely open area. Getting a big Graviton Surge is going to be nigh impossible on the second point.
Oh, well, Pulse Bomb coming down doesn't have that stick, so not going to be getting that massive explosion that Argentina so desperately needs. Beast going to be trying to build up for that Graviton Surge, as you said, Leviathan popping that attack visor is just going to get smacked around by Fisher and Nerf going forward. Now Nerf with that Primal Rage finding Klaus. Tridox with the Dragon Blade, cuts down Battletoad, getting rid of one of those supports. The only support really at the moment here for Argentina, and with him going down, that is going to be a stop yet again on the push. Minute 50 seconds remaining. And Argentina really struggling to even enter onto the point. That first stick still eluding them, and they have to go to the distance.
Important for Denmark to make sure that if they can, they use this EMP to make sure Kelix doesn't have to use a sound barrier, so they can have that for the Dragon Blade next time. I don't think they're too concerned about the Graviton Surge. They may position themselves better as a result, but otherwise they're probably just going to be ignoring the Zarya, given they have mobile heroes here. Here comes the EMP already, actually, on the side of Argentina. Can they make this happen?
PDX goes in, drops it down, but Lind is there to answer, finding multiple members, and that is just going to be Beast falling before he can even complete that Graviton Surge build up here with his ultimate. In Denmark, the kills just coming through, only losing out on Lind, nearly having that team-wide. Battletoad trying to retreat as best as possible, but Kelix going to hound him down. Frankie chasing in as well. They will let him go.
There's
This is looking so dire.
There's just no follow-up for the EMP. I'm feeling reminiscent of Sanctum we just watched. The EMPs come in, but there's no picks, there's no kills, there's not enough to follow up with it, unfortunately. It feels forced. Lind has the second one, which gains value for Denmark. It's efficient. And they still don't have that Graviton Surge. They need to get it right now for this push.
I mean, he's trying to get it, but he's just going to get taken out yet again. Beast, the first one to die on his team, and Klaus is going to follow suit very swiftly thereafter. Battletoad does go forward, finds the kill in onto Nerf, but that's about as good as it gets for the Argentinian team at the moment, because Denmark are cleaning house. They chase forward, they get rid of Nectar, getting those staggers coming through. 25 seconds remaining. There's going to be one last-ditch effort from Argentina. Beast should have this Graviton Surge, and it better be a damn good one if they want to get this count.
But EMP is available here. Fisher's going to be looking to eat that Graviton Surge. She's hungry, so Fisher is looking for it right now. They eat it. It's going to be Toulouse. Going the call out here, the wave directly at the Zarya, just saying, toss that Graviton Surge in. I'm waiting for it. Here comes Beast. Will he be able to make it happen here?
He's pushing in, doesn't have much energy, so he's just tickling the Diva.
He's taken out.
Loses out on all of those shields, and it is just going to be cleaning house here for Denmark, sweeping through Tridox. Double kill with the Dragon Blade of Leviathan, able to answer too with his own tack visor as as they try to keep this in overtime, but it's not going to happen. The team kill is there, and the Danes will take Lunar Colony.
Very well played. The cool thing about that last fight too is Fisher comes in, holds down the defense matrix, so the Graviton Surge can't be placed. If he does, it's eaten immediately. The second the defense matrix runs out, the hack comes in, the EMP placed there, just cannot get value from the Zarya. And it feels like a reminder as to why overall Zarya is a relic of the past, an old meta. We saw it work on King's Row because it was able to build the energy in the enclosed space, something we've seen a lot in the past on King's Row, but not so much on Horizon.
Yeah, definitely not. Fisher here with the play of the game, coming up with that triple kill right at the end, and then popping Beast out. Nicely done by him, but rough times for Argentina. Unable to get that cap, and Denmark, I mean, backs against the wall there really with just the 11 seconds remaining, but they are able to complete that hold, and now move to 2-1, 4 points overall for them. Argentina still just sitting with a single one on the second day of the competition. Could make it a 2-2 here.
Yeah, and it's going to shake your mentality when the crux of most strategies for Argentina has been that backline harass, the Tracer, the Sombra. They're finding basically an even Tracer on the side of Denmark here with Krytok, so having trouble dealing with him. Craggy as well, the Tracers actually kind of being evenly matched here. Your Sombra EMPs aren't getting value, so you're struggling to make that Sombra pick work, and then you get into the situation where you're just desperately tossing out the Zarya. It feels like there's no cards left in the hand of Argentina, and that's what's got to be really scary going into Escort.
Yep. Well, just now that final map here for Argentina trying to pick up another point. But the 2-1 lead at the moment, looking quite good for the Danes. They want to go ahead, put another point on the board. The question is going to be, what map is going to be selected here from Argentina?
Yeah, that's the big question. I mean, Route 66 has been kind of the map we've been seeing the most of. We did see Dorado quite a bit. If Fisher wants to play the Soldier, I think we'll probably... that's something that Argentina is thinking about. They probably want to avoid Dorado, though. I feel like that's one of Fisher's better maps on the Soldier specifically. And it's really cool to see that even though it took them a long time to do it, perhaps Denmark was hiding this all along, that they can play the Sombra, they can bring the Div out and buy a lot of time there. And even though we didn't see it from them, and it looked like perhaps they were one-track minded into the triple DPS, they show flexibility. And I think that's what's getting them this extra momentum in the series, and that's giving the trouble to the side of Argentina.
All right, well, let's go ahead and figure out what our final map of the night of this set is going to be. And it will be Route 66.
Kind of like this choice because I feel like it plays into both DDX's Sombra playstyle and also against Fisher's Soldier, if that's what he's going to be running, right? And even though he's been playing a lot more Diva today, on Dorado, I think he has a great time. There's so much high ground, so difficult to punish. And Fisher's been getting better and better at getting away from those harasses, and Nerf has been punishing the backline dives from DDX coming in from Klaus. So head to Route 66 to see if they can make this a 2-2.
I mean, this is another one of those maps where the Sombra play can really be very important for both, I mean, attacking and defending. We've seen it all
when we saw
on either side. So, I mean, could still see Lin flexing over to that.
Yeah, we saw the attack Bastion used here. A little bit tricky, a little bit wonky coming out from Craggy. Last time we saw Denmark play on this map, it ended up backfiring for them. I don't think we'll see it here, especially with the proclivity that DDX plays so much Sombra, and that can be a deal breaker for the attack Bastion, amongst many other things. But the surprise factor was what they were going for last time.
I just like to pretend that the attack Bastion never happened. On Horizon, sure, we'll go with that one. That one was interesting. But here on Route 66, I'd like to think that it was just a figment of our imagination.
Yeah, sure, we can go with that. What attack Bastion? I never saw that.
Will we see it again is going to be the question, and we're about to find out here as we do get Route 66 underway. And the answer is going to be a resounding yes. It's going to be the Reinhardt.
Okay,
and that
here we go.
coming through yet again. They're just going to pile up onto that payload.
This is something that obviously Argentina has seen before. They've studied, and they're going to look for the dive here immediately. Craggy trying to get that self-repair off. Actually being healed up quite a bit by the Ana. He's making it happen so far.
He's keeping himself topped up and actually finds the kill on the Battletoad, and DDX getting rid of the Sombra, fights Necta, and he is just cleaning up house, but that is still just the first push. So a very nice start here for Craggy, 74%.
But he got so much, yeah. Last time he didn't get to use configuration tank. This time it looks like he very likely will.
I mean,
here's a shot of the man himself.
He could. DDX is still a ways away from the EMP that can shatter this Bastion. But it can build it up very quickly if it can get into a flank position, if it can stay alive. But for now, it's looking pretty good here for Craggy. They want to go with this one again. Nerfed obviously going to be a ways away from something like the Earth Shatter as he's playing full defense. But now Craggy, he's got it ready to go.
Okay, here we go.
Configuration tank, looking for a couple kills, already gets rid of Necta. Can he get more? Jump away on the translocator, just go ahead and keep DDX in the fight, but the rest of them can't say the same. Battletoad will go down. Craggy now back over into that sentry mode. He's gonna be looking for the kill in onto Beast, helps find it alongside Nerfed, and this payload just keeps on moving. Denmark not able to make it work yesterday versus Thailand, but today it's looking pretty darn good versus Argentina.
They're just gonna soar through this first checkpoint, and the differences here is they were able to do it by getting consistent picks, getting it before the EMP was available, so we didn't get to see that shutdown attempt. Now, on top of the fact that we saw configuration tank, we're going to have Earth Shatter, going to have Nano Boost, and the Graviton Surge, and eventually, of course, that second configuration tank. So much extra protection here. Argentina just doesn't seem ready. Here's the EMP, though. Can they clear this?
The DDX goes in, drops it down, but it's going to be Battletoad, the first one that fall. Craggy does get taken out by Klaus at the same time, and Leviathan able to get rid of Kellic, so a bit of an even exchange back and forth. Beast will fall. So about a 2 for 2 thus far for the payload. For now, just going to be halted a little bit, but it's not the, the 6-man, the team wipe that you really wanted from Argentina. DDX will be able to go ahead and build up for yet another EMP rather swiftly, but they're not dissuading Craggy from sticking to the Bastion. He's still on it at the moment.
And he's got the Nano now.
And Nano coming through. Everybody's just going to have to run for the hills. You can see Leviathan barely making it around that corner to keep himself safe.
DDX is the target here, does escape for the time being, is about to have that EMP. Taken out though before he can use it.
It has to drop down off the payload with that self-destruct coming through. Graviton Surge thrown down, Atlas firing away straight into all of them. Beast doing his damnedest to try to block with the defense matrix, but it's just not going to work out. Fisher has the bigger bang, gets rid of Battletoad, knocks Beast out of that suit. The payload keeps on moving. 3:45 left on that clock, and Denmark already halfway through the street space.
This feels like any Bastion player's dream to watch this right now, to see how much he is able to do. The Graviton Surge, sure, really well-placed defense matrix there for Beast, but it doesn't last forever. Gets through there, and Craggy just keeps repositioning. It's difficult for DDX to actually find the best EMP here. We'll use the sound barrier to try to set it up, but configuration tank is available. The EP doesn't even hit the Bastion.
It goes ahead, just flicks over to the side, finds Leviathan, takes him out. Necta gonna fall as well. And things are looking really good here for Denmark as they just go ahead and continue to clean up. Craggy's here on the staircase looking for that kill onto the Tracer. Not gonna find it, will get taken out in the end as Klaus is able to pick one up. That's gonna be a bit of a alleviated pressure here for the side of Argentina as they are finally able to really contest on top of the payload, but Krydog's coming back in. Does go ahead and pick up 2 for himself, getting rid of Battletoad, getting rid of the enemy Zarya.
And now the Bastion time has ended. The run back is way too long here for Denmark, so they're going to have him switch over to the Tracer. And it is actually Beast switching back again to the Zarya, to the Diva, so losing all that ult charge, and this is not looking good for Argentina.
Oh, that's the Earth Shatter thrown down here from Nerf, just locking him in, and Necta will go down. They'll go ahead and pick up Beast as well as Lin finds the kill. Battletoad going down, and this is just Denmark sweeping Argentina under the rug.
It feels like Argentina is trying to freestyle this so much. This is now another swap for Beast onto the Zarya. They're freestyling the defense. They're not entirely sure how to deal with this, and even though this is no longer a Bastion push, they just can't come up with a consistent composition here. And we're seeing Zarya Reinhardt's on both sides. It's a bit weird, Achilles, but it's happening.
I mean, Argentina are so concerned about what picks they need that what they really need is ultimates, and with Beast constantly switching back and forth, they're just never going to have those available. So they're really just kind of digging themselves a deeper grave at the moment. Krydogs will get jumped on. Nerf going straight up into the air. Can't quite find that pin. He's going to be duking out here with Necta, smacking him around as best as possible, but he is able to creep back around the corner. There's a couple kills picked up here for Argentina, so should dissuade Denmark, force them to regroup, then push back in onto this payload. For now, they're going to try to hold this choke point here with the Reinhardt, it seems.
Ult's fairly even, but again, Beast not having his so important. Krydox is actually holding it right now, and there's no Diva to actually deny this, so Krydox is going to look for it right now, tossing it in.
Drops it in, pulse bomb coming through, can't find the kill. That's going to be that sound barrier coming through to help mitigate a lot of that damage. Charged through here from Nerf. Just go in as we hear the hammer come down from Necta. Just a wild chain of events coming through.
Gets a double kill.
Action. Yeah, Kellick's coming up with a double. Everything's going a bit wonky right now. Last match of the night, these guys are out for blood, but right now, Denmark, they do have the Earth Shatter. They have that self-destruct ready to go.
That's right, and that could be paired together. Fisher's going to use it here to remag. Nerf gets hacked before he can drop down that Earth Shatter, unfortunately, but they still pick up Battletoad. Beast has this available now. His Graviton Surge, we'll see it drop down now. The Earth Shatter, will he be able to use it? Doesn't look like it.
Right now, he's just maintaining the shield, but they still are able to go forward. Necta just swinging his way to victory. Comes up with the triple kill, and Denmark seems to be halted in their tracks at the moment. 2 minutes still remaining on the clock, and they're just shy of point C at the moment. See a little bit of a stagger there onto Fisher, delaying that Diva coming back in.
So finally, for Denmark, the gig is up. It's time to switch back to the Soldier. Time to bring in, well, I say that, Fisher switches back again to Zarya. It's going to be sticking with Zarya. I thought we were going to see the switch back to something more normal, the Diva. So Krytox is on the Soldier. They want to continue to try to make this happen. I can't even take this game seriously right now.
I mean, it's going all over the place at the moment, but for now, Nerf is going to be the recipient of that nano boost going forward, looking for the kills, helps take down Necta. They get Battletoad in the end. 4 kills coming through for Denmark, looking for a little bit more. It's just Klaus and DDX as those respawns start to come in. Beast, yet again, moving over onto that Diva, and the payload keeps moving forward. Just a few meters away is Denmark for closing out this attack here on Route 66, and just now, will be stopped up. Craggy going all the way back towards their spawn to get rid of Klaus. Buys them a lot of time. Leviathan switching over onto that Bastion.
But he's
will
taking
be
a nap.
left. Now, because the EMP coming through here from DDX, just trying to pick up some of these kills. He's able to get rid of Craggy. Fisher goes down as well, seemingly killing himself with the right click. Will go down as Kellex finds the kill, but Leviathan, he's woken up from his nap. He made it into his sentry form, and now he's building up for that tank mode of his own.
Well, now,
I don't know
Denmark
what's happening
Denmark
anymore.
has to respond now to the switch to Bastion for Leviathan, who is building up that configuration tank very quickly. The EMPs have been good for DDX. He's on fire, as you can see. And they do have the sound barrier here. Denmark's got one last push in them, but they don't really have that many ultimates to make this happen. It's going to have to be just vanilla play out of them, ultless, to make this happen. Krytox with a...
that's going to be the stick. He's going to go down, finds Lin. Very nicely done there from Klaus. But is that going to be enough? We hear the sound barrier coming through here from Argentina. Leviathan trying to get closer towards that tank configuration, but he cannot do it. Craggy has the pulse bomb to take him out, but still, the trades are in favor of Argentina maintaining control over this payload, stop it from pushing forward. Now we are over into overtime, and it's really down to Craggy and to Kellex to try to just hop around and keep us in contention. They go dangerously low. They get the amp to go ahead and keep everybody topped off, and now Nerf arrives. Sound barrier coming through, and Battletoad has fallen. This could be the big opening for the side of Denmark because the Bastion gets absolutely nothing done. Nano boost in onto Craggy, self-destruct, thrown down by Beast. Can he get the remake? Will be able to do so, but it goes dangerously low. Will get popped out yet again, but it's just an all-out brawl on top of the payload to try to get this completion. Denmark holding on by a thread as Lin falls. It's all on Kellex now to keep everybody topped off. Fisher with the Dragon Blade gets EMP'd, but already had the ultimate out, comes up with a double kill, but Leviathan has come back. Klaus, or Craggy, doing his damnedest to try to get rid of the Bastion, cannot do so, loses his life, but Nerf is there to pick up the pieces. And it is just going to keep on going here. The overtime will plummet at this point if they step away from the payload for just a second. That will be it. Same thing here for Argentina. They're so close to this completion, they have to stick to this one like glue. Fisher going through yet again, trying to build up for another Dragon Blade. A couple more dashes through several members. Will have it for him. Has the nice deflect. Gets rid of Klaus. Multiple members stand on the side of Argentina. It's just Leviathan left alive. He is going to die. And Denmark in overtime. One of the longest fights. One of the craziest pushes I have ever seen on Route 66 in Overwatch is completed. And that's just the first half of the map.
There's a term in esports, and I think it originated from chess. The term is cheese. And this attack, Bastion, cheese, if you will, worked out very well for Denmark. When you have a strategy that you practice like this, that you're so good at, it's much easier to execute than it is to defend. Started to fall by the wayside there through the streets phase, but at the end, the Graviton surges were good. The usage of the Earth Shatter was better on the side of Denmark, but they were finding themselves surprised there by the sudden Leviathan Bastion coming out. And the EMPs for DDX were really the MVP on the side of Argentina, shutting those pushes down, making it an overtime push there. But what a crazy game we just watched. Hard to break down every last piece of it, but you have to give credit to Argentina for being able to flex on the fly against the adversity they faced, struggling in that early push, struggling in the street space. But at the end of the day, DDX consistently building that EMP to try to shut that down. What a game, possibly the craziest of the World Cup 2017 so far.
I mean, it's one of the craziest that I think I've ever seen in my career casting Overwatch thus far, and I cannot wait to hear Flame's expert analysis to break this one down when we do go back over to the desk after everything is concluded. But for now, Denmark make it all the way to the end in overtime. Argentina going to be on the attack. We'll see how they are going to fare, because right now they're not showing a bastion of their own.
No, they're certainly not, and I don't think that they will. But anything could happen here. Unfortunately for Argentina, too, I feel like Beast's constant swaps really cost them there.
Oh, yes.
And he swapped, like, I don't know, maybe 27 times? No, probably more like 6 or 7, but still, just never really having the ult there. And still, I mean, I have to give them credit anyways. It was DDX who had the hacks. I'm a bit exasperated as we go into this attack now for Argentina. They need completion in order to get an edge here. Will be DDX actually on the Zenyatta and not the Sombra.
Just gotta be careful because Lind is over onto that Sombra yet again. Makes him a very juicy target once that EMP comes down. If not even before then, you can see already Lind jumping in. Gets that Discord orb though. Will snap back and only get about 10% on that ulti charge. So still a ways to go for the EMPs to come through. For now, Argentina is going to be contested here on the payload. Denmark are playing very far forward, but that comes with a cost because Kelix has to play up for the team as a sole healer, and he gets taken out. Nekta leaping in. He's able to zap in the net. Now Craggy just firing away into this choke point. Will get taken out as he tries to dash through to get that health back. 3 members have died now for Denmark, and the payload should be moving relatively unhindered here for Argentina for a while as the team gets ready to regroup.
So not quite as strong of a push as what we saw from Denmark, but pretty close.
Yeah, pretty good.
And Lind is just not able to find the EMP early, which is part of the reason why this is getting so dangerously close to checkpoint. Needs to be aggressive here now to look for it, otherwise the Sombra pick is just gaining no value so far.
Needs to pick off, needs to be threatening DDX constantly in the back line, and actually, well, Craggy says, you know what, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it for you. Goes in, finds the Zenyatta, takes him out, Battletoad's going to go down as well, so that's both supports now. Leviathan following suit, a double kill coming through here for Craggy, and it seems like Denmark have finally found some ground to stand on. They will go for it, they will take out Argentina, pretty much that team kill delayed coming through, as they'll just let Beast go for a little while, get that maximum stagger there on the Baby Diva.
And now this is going to be Denmark holding on to the big 6 themselves here. Finally, the EMP, a scary prospect for Argentina to go against because of the long run back now. As the cart rolls back, they're very close to the checkpoint, but every time they lose a member, it's so valuable for Denmark to try to stagger these ults. Lind already waiting for this, looking at a position here. Drops it down mid-air. We'll get a multi-man EMP.
Throws it in, but still the kill's not really spilling through. It's going to be Lind actually falling. Just Klaus the one that gets picked up, but now with the attack visor, Krytox is able to find DDX, but he is threatened, has to go ahead and peel back at the sound barrier to help keep him alive for a little bit longer. Helix rockets will not connect. Payload still going to be in the possession of Denmark at the moment.
Yeah, very well done. Very good stagger here for Denmark to buy time. And even though it was expensive ult-wise, it buys so much time because of the long run back I was talking about.
Going to be zipping their way back in here. Sound barrier coming through from Battletoad. Just trying to keep everybody topped off. Self-destruct, not going to find anything, but Lind is going to be the first one to fall. Can't build up for that EMP here in that fight. Would have had it very swiftly if he was able to stay alive, and Nerf will also go down. Leviathan just ripping through the members of Denmark. Has Craggy with the Helix rockets. And this could just be the completion here on point A for Argentina. Very well delayed by Denmark, but seems like it's a bit inevitable at this point. Unless Kelix can keep himself alive, but as I say that, he will go down. Leviathan scooping up most of those kills here for his team. Has the attack visor ready to go, as well as they go ahead and enter the street space. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to make it to be.
So Denmark used a lot there, and had they actually gotten the wipe with all their ultimates, it would have been so valuable. They didn't, but I think it's still okay because they've baited a lot of Argentina's ults out. They forced them to use a lot of resources too, and they have a much smaller time bank than Denmark did in the same situation, crosswise of course, with the attack bastion push. So I feel like this is already a pretty big win for Denmark. And they actually have this nice control of the high ground. They have the EMP ready. They've got a nice setup here.
Yep, that's going to be the EMP coming down here from Lind, but the Transcendence does come through there from DDX in time. And it's actually going to be Argentina coming up with the majority of those kills. 2-for-1 exchange. So Leviathan has that attack visor burned out. They'll go ahead, get rid of Kelix. Fisher popped out of the back as well as Lind going down. So Argentina very much winning out off that engage of Lind. And they should be able to go ahead and keep this payload moving. So very nicely turned around here by Argentina.
Leviathan just so good on this soldier. So well protected as well, you have to say, by Beast, who now has the self-destruct. He's holding on to that one. But the biggest challenge is yet to come as they do get close to halfway point, to the halfway point across this checkpoint. That's where it's going to be difficult to get the second one. Lind is actually switching off the Sombra. Not as much value at this part of the Streets phase with the health pack hack, so just wants to have the Discord to knock Necht out, who's been doing some serious work, Achilleos.
Well, Beast's just going to go ahead and toss up that self-destruct. Doesn't really gain anything.
Yeah, weird one there.
Yeah, in the meantime, Fisher will get knocked out of his mech by DDX, so there's a little bit of a reprieve here for the side of Argentina, but Krytox with that attack visor will find a kill here on the Battletoad. Necht going down as well as Leviathan with those Helix rockets, so nice accuracy coming through here from Krytox, and you can see they're going to chase very far forward, all the way back towards Big Earls to just keep Argentina contained, keep them away from that payload as long as humanly possible.
I suppose there was a plan with that self-destruct, but it just didn't really come to fruition, and Krytox just immediately there to snap up, punish the D.Va for being out of position. They're having to remac in an odd spot, getting a really valuable attack visor off, and that's all they used here. They have basically everything else, soon to have the Transcendence as well.
Yeah, well, that's going to get a sound barrier here from Argentina. Want to make their way back over onto this payload, try to get some distance in because the clock is running down, but it's answered by Denmark with one of their own, so no one dying quite yet, but several health bars going low. Pulse bomb out from Klaus, not going to be finding that stick, not going to be finding a kill, has to dash back up over to the high ground, try to stay alive, will drop down here alongside DDX to get top back up from that Transcendence. The rest of his team is suffering losses. DDX coming out of that ultimate will get taken out. Necta as well falling yet again. So the tanky front line being cut in half here for Argentina. And Denmark looking very strong on the defenses. 50 seconds is all that is left on the clock.
Klaus just did so much damage, but unfortunately no executions, no kills there. Really well-placed recalls there as well. Kind of tricky how long he was able to stay alive there, but the time is really ticking down now, and it seems like Krytox is maybe taking Fisher's spot here on the soldier now.
Oh, Krytox, a big botch there. Tries to make it over the roof, but can't do it. Instead, just damages himself and sets up for that kill. Lind is going to fall as well, so now down 2 members is Denmark, and the payload is yet again moving forward here for Argentina. Could just get the cap, perhaps in overtime, if not just running it all the way into the station before that even happens.
Well, they have the self-destruct to deal with, so I feel like it'd be wise for Denmark to actually contest this. Here comes Fisher. He's going to be coming in first. Gets on top of that point, setting up for that self-destruct. Here it comes for the first to be used.
We'll go ahead, drop this one out. Doesn't find any kills, but Krytox does find DDX there with the attack visor. Can he pick up more? It's going to be the question. It seems like the answer is going to be no. In the meantime, Craggy comes up with a double kill. Leviathan and Battletoad both go down, and that will be the hold from Denmark. They will be closing this series out yet again with another win.
I think the weaknesses of Denmark and their stubbornness in compositions, all of that is shattered after this series. Making the attack bastion work very well, showing a lot of different flexibilities of comps there. Showing the Sombra for Lind finally. Fisher back on the D.Va. Krytox showing an amazing soldier.
Well.
Let's just watch some configuration tank. Oh, I guess not. We're going to watch these players.
We're going to watch the players being good sports, so instead it's just Craggy on the beginning of that attack where he just fired away, picked up the 4K.
But I mean,
and then they continued, they started off their push on the payload, so just firing away with the left clicks really was what that play of the game was.
Very pleasant Krytox soldier, to be honest, makes a big argument for Fisher to play the D.Va, for them to play a more 2-2-2 oriented composition. That hasn't really been Denmark's playstyle throughout this Group B, but I feel like they show that moving forward they absolutely can run it, and it's not an Achilles heel of them that they don't have that flexibility to bring out the Sombra, which is one of the things that everyone is saying was the weakness of Denmark, but now they have the attack bastion. They've shown it consistently, getting value. The Sombra play, this team looks a lot stronger after today than what they showed us yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be in that second place spot at the moment, just underneath of France, so very nicely done there by Denmark, picking up the wins. Argentina, unfortunately, just going to be resting with the 1 point. That's going to do it from you and I here today. We'll be back tomorrow with more games, but for now, we're going to throw over to a quick break, and then we'll have the desk break down those final maps of the day.
The 2017 Overwatch World